Donald Trump wrapped up his second State of the Union address less than an hour ago.
Yeah, he touted the country's economic success, called for action along the southern border. The president was greeted with a round of applause from Republicans as well as some Democrats, including House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. The president's goal tonight is to strike a unifying tone in his remarks, but there have not been a lot of unity between the parties when it comes to border security. The president tonight outlining the plan his administration sent to Congress.
This is a smart, strategic, see-through steel barrier, not just a simple concrete wall. It will be deployed in the areas identified by the border agents as having the greatest need, and these agents will tell you where walls go up, illegal crossings go way, way down.
A bipartisan group of lawmakers currently working on a border security deal that would get the support of the House and the Senate and get the president's signature. They're facing a February 15th deadline when they have to pass a spending deal to avoid, of course, yet another government shutdown. We're joined now by Dr. Laura Wilson from UIndy, political science professor. Let's talk about the border. We weren't sure where the president would go with this tonight. Obviously, it's been a huge topic of conversation or debate.
It is, and I think we knew we would hear it. We weren't sure when. And of course, with the theme of unity, you wonder how he's going to approach it. He did his sales pitch that he's done before, saying how it's absolutely necessary, emphasizing the issues with illegal immigration, but lauding and supporting legal immigration efforts, and saying ultimately that we have to fund this in some kind of way. It hasn't happened yet. Obviously, we have the government shut down, but he really made a plea for it tonight.
Yeah, he's not budging on this at all.
He's not. You had the 35-day longest ever partial government shutdown,
Right.
But it didn't result in that $5.7 billion. And he was very clear here that he sees that as being the ultimate solution. This is a problem in terms of illegal immigration, and this is the only way that we're going to be able to accomplish a solution in our country.
The president also talking trade tonight, including the United States' new deal with Mexico and Canada. He mentioned Indiana specifically, saying he'd met people here, quote, whose dreams were shattered by NAFTA. Listen.
Our new U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement, the USMCA, will replace NAFTA and deliver for American workers like they haven't had delivered to for a long time. I hope you can pass the USMCA into law so that we can bring back our manufacturing jobs in even greater numbers, expand American agriculture, protect intellectual property, and ensure that more cars are proudly stamped with our 4 beautiful words, made in the USA.
Yeah, Laura, the president's speaking directly to really folks in the Midwest.
Oh, absolutely. I think this is the area where jobs really truly left. People were hit the hardest. And he's really making this argument that we're able to bring those back, that we will have that kind of economy. Of course, Abrams mentioned this in her rebuttal, her address, saying, in fact, those jobs aren't going to be back and we need to have another solution. But it's very clear in terms of workers, especially for Hoosiers and everyone in the Midwest, this is a major issue for our economy and for our area.
Yeah, Laura just mentioned Abrams. That is Stacey Abrams, who lost the governor's race in Georgia this year. She gave the Democratic response. Here's a clip from it.
We know bipartisanship could craft a 21st century immigration plan, but this administration chooses to cage children and tear families apart. Compassionate treatment at the border is not the same as open borders. President Reagan understood this. President Obama understood this. Americans understand this. And Democrats stand ready to effectively secure our ports and borders. But we must all embrace.
All right, Dana, of course, she's a rising star in the Democrats. If people don't know, she lost the governor's race down in Georgia. Really sticking to a lot of the sticking points that Democrats have been all along.
She has. And I think in that clip you heard her mention Ronald Reagan, which is maybe an olive branch, so to speak. You don't hear that a lot from the Democratic Party. But in terms of healthcare, immigration, jobs, very much to the Democratic talking points, everything we would expect to hear, I think, from the party.
All right, Dr. Laura Wilson from UIndy, thanks so much for being with us tonight. As
Thank you for
always,
having me.
appreciate your insight.